Tears are more than salt water. They are a complex cocktail of emotions made visible. They are the liquid voice of our deepest selves, a primal form of communication that transcends language barriers. We cry from pain, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear, from joy when our hearts overflow with gratitude and elation, from loneliness, when we yearn for connection, and from love, when our souls are deeply touched. These drops speak a language older than words, a silent testament to the human experience, connecting us to our shared humanity, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles or our triumphs. Tears reveal that we are alive, that we feel deeply, that we are vulnerable and open to the world. In this vulnerability, there is a sacred truth, a profound understanding of our own fragility and strength. We often try to hold back tears, fearing they show weakness, believing that strength lies in stoicism. But tears are not a flaw. They are not a sign of defeat. They are a gift, a release, a natural and necessary part of being human, the body's way of saying, "This is too much to hold alone," a signal that we need support and understanding. Allowing ourselves to cry is not falling apart. It's not a sign of weakness. It's the beginning of coming together, of integrating our pain and finding solace in connection. Tears are a form of prayer, a direct line to the divine, rising from our soul when words fail, when we can no longer articulate the depths of our emotions. They speak directly to the divine, carrying our unspoken needs and desires, saying, "Here I am, this is my joy, this is my sorrow, I offer myself to you, just as I am." In this honest offering, in this act of vulnerability, we open a space for something new to enter, for healing, for growth, for transformation. The world tells us to dry our eyes and move on, to suppress our emotions and keep pushing forward. But the spiritual path invites us to honor our tears, to listen to their wisdom, to embrace their healing power. Tears are holy water, cleansing our wounds and purifying our spirits, softening our hearts and making room for new life, allowing us to blossom into our fullest potential. To welcome our tears is to welcome our humanity, to embrace our imperfections and celebrate our resilience. It is the first step toward receiving a grace we didn't know we needed, a gentle reminder that we are loved and supported. Let your tears flow. Allow them to cleanse and heal. They are not an interruption, but an essential part of your journey, a sacred expression of your soul. They baptize us into deeper understanding and love, washing away the old and making way for the new. In every tear, there is a quiet invitation to healing, a gentle nudge towards wholeness and peace. Inside each of us, nestled deep within our being, is a deep wellspring of emotion, a reservoir of feelings waiting to be acknowledged. It's usually calm, a tranquil surface reflecting the sky, but it can be stirred by life's inevitable storms, the winds of change and challenge. Crying draws from this well, tapping into its profound depths. It's a natural process, letting emotions flow out like a gentle stream, allowing us to begin the essential work of healing and recovery. Tears cleanse us, washing away the residue of pain and sorrow. They are like rain washing dust from leaves, refreshing and revitalizing. This cleansing allows us to see and breathe anew, with a fresh perspective and renewed energy. Yet, we're often taught to block this natural flow, to suppress our emotions. We build walls against vulnerability, fearing the perceived weakness of showing our true feelings. But these walls eventually crack under the pressure of pent-up emotions. They cannot hold forever. The water, the emotion, must go somewhere, seeking release. Letting tears come, allowing ourselves to weep, is an act of profound self-compassion, a gentle acknowledgement of our pain. It's a gentle release, a controlled flow, instead of a shattering break, a dam bursting under immense pressure. Healing through tears is a slow and quiet process, a gradual softening. It's like rain soaking into the earth, softening the soil of our grief, preparing it for new growth, for new peace to blossom. Each tear creates space for grace to dwell, for healing and understanding to take root. After a deep cry, a release of pent-up emotion, we often feel lighter, unburdened. It's as if a heavy burden has lifted from our shoulders, allowing us to stand taller, breathe easier. This shared experience connects us to all of humanity, because everyone, in their own way, has known sorrow, has experienced loss and pain. Our tears, in their essence, join a universal river of human experience, a collective expression of grief and resilience. In this shared vulnerability, in this open display of emotion, we find comfort, solace, and the profound realization that we are not alone in our suffering. Tears remind us of our shared fragility, our common humanity, and our inherent capacity for healing and growth. They are a bridge, a pathway, from our pain and suffering to compassionate love, both for ourselves and for others. So let your tears flow freely. They connect you to the world, to yourself, and to the shared human experience. Grace is a pure gift, a present freely given. It is unearned, unexpected, and often unseen in our daily lives. It finds us surprisingly when we feel most lost or unworthy, whispering gently, "You are loved, simply because you are." Grace arrives in surrender, when our strength is gone and we stop striving and pushing. In our emptiness, we become open and receptive to receiving it. Grace is a quiet presence, a kind word spoken, a breathtaking sunset, a friend's silent support and understanding. It doesn't erase pain, but enters it with us, ultimately redeeming our suffering. Grace transforms our wounds into profound compassion and wisdom. Nothing is ever wasted. Even our deepest pain becomes part of a beautiful and intricate tapestry. A mother loses her child, a loss that echoes through the chambers of her heart. The world seems to dim, the colors fade, and a heavy cloak of sorrow settles upon her shoulders. Her days are filled with tears and silence, a stark contrast to the laughter and joy that once filled the now empty rooms. Each sunrise is a painful reminder of what is missing, and each sunset brings a fresh wave of grief. One afternoon, as she sits in quiet despair, a bird sings at her window. A simple melody, a fragile sound in the vastness of her grief. The pain remains, a constant companion, but the song pierces through, a moment of grace in a simple moment. A tiny spark of light in the overwhelming darkness, a reminder that beauty still exists. A man loses his job and hides his tears, fearing vulnerability in a world that often equates strength with stoicism. The weight of responsibility presses down on him, threatening to crush his spirit. His daughter, sensing his sadness, gives him a drawing labeled "Best Dad," a simple gesture, a child's innocent offering of love. He sees his worth is not in his work, but in the boundless love of his child, grace through a child's hands. A profound realization that shifts his perspective and reminds him of what truly matters. A young woman, burdened by shame and the weight of past mistakes, confesses to a wise elder, seeking solace and guidance. Instead of judgment, which she anticipates, she receives compassion and the comforting words, "You are already forgiven." A wave of relief washes over her as she realizes she is not condemned. Grace washes away her shame, cleansing her spirit and allowing her to begin anew. The burden lifts, and she feels lighter, freer. These stories, seemingly disparate, reveal a common pattern. Grace does not bypass the valley of weeping, that place of sorrow and despair, but meets us there, in the depths of our pain. Tears plow the field of our hearts, breaking up the hard, compacted soil of pride and self-reliance, making way for something new to grow. Into this tilled soil, softened by sorrow, seeds of grace take root, promising a harvest of hope and healing. The pain is real, the tears necessary, a vital part of the process, and the grace that follows transforms suffering into blessing, turning ashes into beauty. Grace is not a distant concept, but is found in the midst of our tears, not in their absence. It is in the vulnerability, in the brokenness, that grace finds its way in. In every valley, even the darkest and most desolate small signs of life and love appear, like wildflowers blooming in unexpected places. Our tears, like a cleansing rain, prepare us to receive these gifts, opening our hearts to the possibility of hope. The landscape of suffering, once barren and desolate, becomes a place of unexpected blessing, a testament to the transformative power of grace. We are not alone in our pain. Grace finds us there, offering solace and strength in our darkest hours. Even in the deepest darkness, a gentle presence arrives, a beacon of hope in the midst of despair. These moments, however fleeting, remind us that hope and healing are always possible, even when they seem impossibly distant. Our stories of sorrow, etched with pain and loss, become stories of transformation, testaments to the resilience of the human spirit. Grace is the miracle that changes everything, offering a new perspective, a renewed sense of hope, and a path forward. In the valley, the place of weeping, we discover the seeds of new life, waiting to sprout and blossom in the warmth of grace. Let your tears fall, do not resist them, for they make room for grace to enter and heal the deepest wounds. Every story of weeping, every tale of sorrow, is also a story of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the boundless nature of grace. The valley is not the end, but the beginning of blessing, a place of transformation where suffering gives way to hope and tears give way to joy. Tears are profound teachers, revealing the truth of our hearts. They show us what we love, long for, and have lost, pointing to what matters most. Tears teach humility, stripping away illusions of control and reminding us of our dependence on others and on grace. This humility opens the door for grace to enter. Tears also teach compassion. Our own pain helps us understand and comfort others. We become wounded healers, offering authentic comfort. Tears teach us hope. Not a fragile optimism, but a resilient hope born in darkness. Even in pain, love is present. Even in brokenness, grace is at work. Tears water the seeds of hope, allowing it to grow strong within us. Our tears are not a sign of weakness, but of deep humanity. They connect us to others and to the possibility of new life. Through tears, we learn to trust the process of healing. Let your tears teach you. They are guides on the journey. In every tear, there is a lesson of love, humility, and hope. The spiritual life is a dance between sorrow and joy, tears and laughter. To live fully is to embrace this rhythm, not just the comfortable parts. We often rush through sorrow, but grace teaches us that both sorrow and joy are essential. Embracing this rhythm means allowing ourselves to feel deeply, without judgment. We can weep for what is lost and smile at beauty in the same breath. This is not contradiction, but the fullness of an open heart. Spiritual growth is not about constant happiness, but about presence to whatever comes. The goal is not to eliminate tears, but to welcome the grace that comes with them. Let your tears and your joy dance together. They are both sacred. In this dance, we find healing and wholeness. As we close, receive this blessing. May you honor your tears as sacred expressions of your heart. Let them flow, trusting their power to heal. May you see grace in small moments. A bird's song, a kind word, a gentle presence. Grace meets you in your weakness, filling you with love beyond understanding. Hold both your tears and grace in the same heart. One prepares the way for the other. Your sorrow carves space for joy. Your brokenness lets light in. Walk gently, knowing your tears are precious and grace is always near. You are held, you are loved, and you are never alone. Amen.